A home is so much more than boards and nails, and at the heart of it is the kitchen. It's where Mom taught you to make some of Grandma's greatest recipes, and it's where the best stories start and finish. Today I want to invite you in to enjoy some amazing food and to learn what makes this house a home. Today we took a drive just outside of Houston to the little town of Cleveland, Texas. And nestled in the Sam Houston National Forest is this 5,000 square foot metal building. It's called a Barndominium. And if you don't know what a Barndominium is, you're going to learn a whole lot about that today. Let's go in and take a look because you're not going to believe what's on the other side of these barn doors. Welcome to the Creek House. Hey, Stacey.
Hi, Steph. How are you doing?
I'm great.
Welcome to the Creek House.
Well, thank you. I am so excited to be here today. But one of the reasons I wanted to start inside, I typically will start in the kitchen. But because we're cooking outside today, I wanted to give our viewers a real sense of the expansiveness in this room. And what better way to do that than to have us little ladies in here to really see how high these ceilings are and how big this space is.
Oh, this is I think this is a beautiful room. This is how we design, which is a big, great room, wide open areas, high ceilings. The ceilings here are 25 feet tall. And then we match it with a 25-foot long kitchen island. Because where does everybody gather but in the kitchen, along the kitchen island. So this is how we live out here, and it's very comfortable and very relaxing.
It is, and I can imagine lots of people gathered here, and it's just so welcoming. It's just a wonderful feeling. So,
oh, well, thank you
so happy
much.
to be here.
Thank you so very much. Would you like to get cooking?
Yeah, let's get started.
Let me get the door for you.
Thank you. Stacey, thank you so much for these aprons. If anybody knows me, I love aprons.
Aprons are great. We like to hand out the aprons when we're cooking outside because it makes people feel more like a chef.
It does.
Yes.
I feel like I'm ready to go. And I love the change of scenery because we've always shot inside.
Yes.
But now this is the first time I've done an outdoor kitchen. So I'm really excited to get going on this.
You know, I tell people that outdoor kitchens really are a thing. Most evenings we're cooking out here, my husband and I, sometimes I'll be sitting over there and he'll be grilling and we'll have the music on or the TV on, and really the dogs will be running around, and it's just very relaxing, it's very peaceful. I call this our little piece of heaven.
Yeah, and hey, I love that because that's exactly what it is. And you have so many of these outdoor areas that just flow so naturally from inside to outside. So it's very easy to kind of continue the things that you start inside, come out here to the outdoor kitchen, whether it's relaxing in the evenings or starting your day off, like you mentioned earlier, outside with a cup of coffee on the patio.
Yes, I have my morning coffee sometimes on this patio and sometimes on the side porch, sometimes in the front porch. And it's real peaceful because we're spending a lot of time at home, and it's one of those things I can kind of think about my day, but it's my moment of peacefulness for me, a little meditation there for me, morning meditation.
Yes, and I think too when people think of a dream home or a dream space, I think you've hit the nail on the head out here.
You know, this is where when we are entertaining outside, you know, again, people like to get around the kitchen island. So here we have a really big, this is 12 foot long,
it's big.
12 feet long, and we really enjoy this, and everybody gathers around. And one of our favorite things to do is we have a pizza oven. So we're going to make pizza today.
Yes, let's get started here. So we have tons of ingredients. So I've made pizza before. I've never used an outdoor oven. I've always watched it happen. So I'm excited to get started. Tell me what to do.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab some flour.
Okay.
And we're going to put a little flour on our, there you go, grab that, on your wax paper. And then we're going to put a little bit of flour on our hands.
Oh, on the hands too.
And that way it doesn't less likely to stick. And then we're going to grab a dough ball.
Oh, now my kids are going to be jealous when they see this.
And this is so good. With, you know, when you have pizza oven that's an outdoor pizza oven, and you have that kind of outdoor pizza, it's so good. So here we go. A little bit on the top.
Okay.
A little bit of flour.
Oh, there's my flour
yeah,
right there.
so we want to do that so that it doesn't stick to the rolling pin. And then we're going to roll this out. I like to put a little oil on the top of mine. Here we go. Like a little bit like this. A little bit like that. You want to try that? Yep. And then we take a little bit of the sauce and we put it on and we smooth it out, so you can do the same thing with yours.
Thank you. Yeah, this, and it smells so good out here. None of you can smell this, but I assure you that it smells really,
so good.
Really good. They prepped everything beforehand.
And then you take your toppings and you put whatever toppings you want on there. This is peppers, you can pick mushrooms.
Yeah, so we have tomatoes here, we have some mushrooms, we have some pepperoni, and a sausage.
and as much cheese as you want. Lots and lots of cheese.
I'm one of those people, I love the, oh goodness, what is it called? With just the mozzarella cheese, a little bit of basil and vegetables.
Oh,
so
that's very good.
That's lots of fun. And so as we're preparing our pizza, I want to
Yes.
ask you a few questions about Barndominiums.
Yes.
Because like I had mentioned before, if you're here in the South, if you've watched HGTV, you've
Yes.
seen Chip and Joanna Gaines, you kind of know what a Barndominium is.
Yes.
But there's a lot of people that don't. So in simple terms, what is a Barndominium?
A barndominium, so it really depends on where you live in the country, but down here in the South, we call a metal building that has been converted into a home inside a barndominium. So we are a metal building, we have metal sides, we have a metal roof, and then we have intentionally designed the inside as a home. They're very energy efficient, they go up quick, the shell goes up quick, they're low maintenance. And so they're really great for people who are living out in the country because you can get dried in much quicker and get started on your home much quicker, much faster.
Right, and what's a little different, because I know a lot of people that I spoke to, they were a little confused by, I think you used the term a shouse. So you're thinking
shouse.
about a house and a shop that's together.
Yes.
And so when people think about Barndominiums, that's what they were imagining. So really, it's all about the residential space for you, correct?
It is. So so they have folks who like a shop and a house. It's called a shouse. And a shouse is great for people that live out in the country in particular. They're really wonderful spaces, but the concentration is mostly on the shop. And then a little bit of the house. We are intentionally designing the Barndominium as a house. And then if you want to shop, then we do it as a detached building, a detached Barndominium.
Right, so out here you actually have this 5,000 square foot space, and I
Yes.
believe you said it's 5,200.
Yes.
So it's quite large. And then you have your separate garage and shop out there too.
That's
as
right.
well.
That's right. So that way, when my husband's making lots of noise in the shop, he's doing it over there. No disturbing me over here. But it's great because we have the separation of space. We can keep all of the equipment and the tools and what they call the toys over there. And over here, it's all about entertaining and relaxing and really enjoying this view.
Right, and there's some flexibility because I know we talked about you erect that metal building first, and then you're going inside and you're building your walls, your framing and your walls, and creating whatever space you want to create.
Yes.
And I've seen lots of your designs, which I want to share with others, but so much of yours, whether you want a party barn or if you want a house that when you walk through those doors has a very traditional feel to it,
Yes.
you can create it because there's so much flexibility that's allowed with, of course, the walls and the space that you erect inside.
Yes. You know, that's what's so interesting about Barndominiums and so great about Barndominiums. You can design this and build this so many different ways. The great thing is you've got big open spans, the steel beams, you can expose them, you can box them in with wood or with sheetrock. You can have a more traditional look inside if you want. I kind of call my design kind of like the barn house style. It's very relaxing. I've got a mixture of all kinds of styles in the barn house. We have wood walls and a tin ceiling on top and antiques in the room. But it's one of those things where you want to make it very warm and inviting and welcoming. And one of the things we love about is this outdoor kitchen, because this is where we spend a lot of time, and a lot of people are putting these outdoor kitchens in their Barndominium design to extend their living space.
Right, and I want to talk a little bit about some of your interior space because there's some designs, features that I think I would love when I get to build a Barndominium. So you have your master suite, which is incredible.
Oh,
you have
thank
this
you.
beautiful master bathroom.
Thank you.
Then you upstairs, you have a bunk room.
That actually is our home theater that we also turn into the extra sleeping space when we need it. We have double queens, and then we have double full-size bunks. We also have a morning kitchen so that if we have guests, they could have bagels or coffee in the morning right up at the top there. They don't have to come downstairs. We really use every room in our house every day.
All right, and that's what amazes, I think, with traditional designs. I see this a lot in the years I've spent in real estate, that there's so many rooms that people don't use. You know, the
Yes.
formal dining room, and
Yes.
then you have a formal living room. And thankfully, the design trends of today are kind of going away with that.
Yes.
And they're having more spaces like you have, where everything's kind of nice and open.
Yes.
So that's one thing I truly loved about the house, is that it is all usable space.
Yes.
And one of those features, when you talk about not wasted space, is you don't have a foyer.
I don't have a foyer. I say that the front porch is my foyer. When you walk up to our home and I greet you on the porch, that's our foyer. And then when you walk into the house, then everything is open. So we don't use or take square footage from the inside into a foyer or hallways or things that might eat up your interior square footage. So, so when I say welcome to the front porch or welcome to the Creek House, that's our foyer. Oh, and there it is. It's out, just like that. It's out.
It is a quick process.
It's super quick. Oh, there we go. And just like that, it looks pretty good.
I know. I can't wait to dive in.
Yes.
But I've seen that you actually built, or you designed in all 50 states.
I do. We have a small company. There's about 15 of us. And we design for people who want Barndominiums all over the United States. We're about to pick up our first Hawaii project. I'm so excited. I told the client, I said, I'm going to have to go to Hawaii just to take a look at this project and make sure everything's okay.
One thing I did is when I did research on Barndominiums, I found that there were very few women Barndominium designers. So I thought that was very unique. And I see the difference in the ones I've seen online that, you know, hey, we love men, but you know, there was something quite different about the way they designed a floor plan and the designs that I see of yours.
Oh, well, I really appreciate that. So this is a steel building. This is a metal building. And traditionally, men have been designing metal buildings. And now that we're designing them for homes, I think us women, we intentionally think about how the kitchen lays out, how the entertaining space flows from one space to another. Maybe about that master closet a little bit and how it's laid out so we can hang all our clothes. So I think that we bring a different flavor or a different perspective when designing a Barndominium. So not only did I design, but I built it, so I understand the nuances about building a Barndominium. And then we talk about how it's going to look inside. What kind of flavor or style is it going to have on the finish out? Is it going to be more of a modern style? Is it going to be more of a country French style? You can do so many things with a Barndominium, and it's so wonderful because you can build these so many different ways.
Right.
Yes.
And you told me about that as we were doing a tour inside, that once the metal outside exterior is all erected, that inside these walls, even after you have them put together, that later on, if you wanted to change something up, that it's very easy to move these walls?
Yes. So let's say I decided to sell the Creek House and somebody said, oh, you know what, I don't like the way she's laid this out. They could literally come in and take out all of the walls and start all over from scratch, because a Barndominium, all of the weight, all of the structure is carried on the outside of the building. So you can change that wall. During construction, we were looking at a room size and I said, you know what, let's make this room a little bit bigger. Let's move that wall additional 6 inches. And we can do that with the Barndominium because we're not carrying the load of the roof on there.
Right, there's so much flexibility, and I think a lot of people don't realize that. And which is one of those nice things, aside from the flexibility of it, the affordability of it, correct? I know a lot depends on the finishes that you actually end up with, but is it more affordable to build something like this as opposed to a traditional style home?
Yes, so if you're building a traditional style home, you have, I think we have some flakes from the fireplace that's coming out. Yeah, there we go.
It's snow.
Yes, the smell smells so good. Between the pizza and the fireplace, it smells so good. So traditionally on a home, you put brick or stone or stucco. That's labor intensive and time consuming. Sheet metal goes up in a flash. It goes up, it looks good, it's easy to maintain. A couple of times a year, my husband takes the hose and washes it off if it gets a little bit dirty, but I think it's classic and timeless. And you can decide that you want what color sheet metal you want. There's so many choices out there. You can do red or white or black.
Right.
And then we have lots of windows to let in lots of light, lots of covered porches, awnings to help protect the windows, and of course glass garage doors.
Right, and you have a really cool feature, which I loved, because here we're in the South and we know that, you know, here especially we're a little bit closer to the Gulf, you know, than, you know, in Central Texas or parts of North Louisiana. but you have these doors that you have these big glass doors, but you also have in the front, you have a barn door that covers it. And out here you have another door that covers the glass door in the back. So in case there is a storm, you're able to cover that up. And it's perfect too for safety reasons.
Yes. Also, when we leave to go out on vacation, we can slide those doors closed and lock those from the inside. If there's a big storm or if we have a hurricane that's in the Gulf, we can close those doors to help give us some protection. And we're also in a steel building. So I think we have a little bit more protection, a little bit more solid build. You can design these to withstand whatever the wind loads are for your area. So these are great in the Gulf because they can be designed to withstand better withstand those hurricane loads.
Right, and I've heard too that insurance rates can be a little bit lower on metal buildings than they are in the traditional style homes.
Yes, they can be.
And is it for that reason?
Yes, it's because we've got a metal roof and we've got metal sides. It's not to say that they won't burn down, but it'll take a little bit longer.
Right. Well, there's so many reasons, I think, to build a Barndominium, and that's why I was really excited to come out here and highlight it and speak to someone that knows.
Oh, thank you.
The queen of Barndominiums, the Barndominium lady. So to be able to showcase what really people can do with this, because I do think it's going to be a hot trend that's going to stick around for a while.
Yes, and I always say I love Barndominiums, and Barndominiums are a thing. And they're going to be around a long time. They're the hottest trend. And if you don't believe me, go to Google Trends and look up Barndominiums. And it says that Barndominiums are the hottest, latest thing in the housing trend that you're going to absolutely love. And it's such a unique place to live because I live in a metal building. And I tell people I live in a metal building. And they say, you live in a metal building. I said, a Barndominium.
Yes, and that's why we want to educate people, because there's just something incredible about this type of design that's going to be around for a while.
Yes.
And if you could tell somebody just one reason why they should consider building a Barndominium, what would you tell them?
Barndominiums are so cool. And I always tell people, when I'm done, my goal is that you'll never look at a metal building the same way again.
And definitely from the moment that I walked into this place, I never will. So you know what? Let's get started eating.
Get started.
And how about some champagne, some wine? I would love to do a toast for you.
Here we go. There's a glass for you, and a glass for me.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So what do we have here? We have some red wine.
We have a little bit of red wine so that it completes the pizza experience here.
Perfect, and it just pairs very nicely with this pizza. But before we head on out, I want to thank you so much for sharing your home with us and also educating our viewers and myself on Barndominiums and what's incredible about them. So I want to do a toast to the Barndominium lady, and if you all are interested in learning more about Barndominiums, you can go ahead and email us at the link below. You can also check out our website, and be sure to check out Stacee's at ourbarndominiumlife.com, and we're going to be linking those up as well. So Stacee, to you.
Cheers.